Hey, what's up everybody? Lean and Green. This is going to be a very exciting vlog. Everyone always asks me, don't make that face thing. Everyone always asks me, what are you eating? And I explain it, and of course I can't condense anything and I just make everything complicated. Story of my life. We're working on it. So, let's try to condense and explain what exactly it is that I eat and what I'm doing prior to competition. I have my preset meals and everything in my head. I write them out and I even make them, but I wind up substituting for things that I don't already have prepared, and I turn little cheat meals that I should only have an extra 50 calories here and there into an extra 400 or 500 calories. When you're trying to lose body fat, you want to decrease, you want to be at a deficit and decrease your total caloric intake. So cheating with all those extra calories is not going to help. So what I've done to combat this morning was, as Zach would say, boom protein everywhere, you know, measuring out my meals. So, this is week 4 of protein. Algae, Sun Warrior. This is week 3. As you can see, the bags are going to be getting smaller because I'm eating less. This is week 2. And this is show week. This is everything that I'll be consuming throughout the week. A bag of each one for each day. Show week, there will be only Sun Warrior. No algae, because Sun Warrior has 93% protein, and Spirulina has 54% protein. So, Shuey is being done, and that's how I feel comfortable doing it. So, rather than getting into a whole big explanation, let's work on this week in particular. First, let me also say that I'm dehydrating these 2 things right here. And having them not as cheat meals, but as a way to control cravings and stop myself from having cheat meals. What would be a cheat meal for me? A meal bar, some seeds, some nuts, fruit, be it frozen or fresh, all these things, gone, out of the picture. No more. No more frozen strawberries, no more bananas, none of that crap. No more Vega bars.
Don't call fruit crap.
What?
Don't call fruit crap.
Yeah, you're right. Not crap. You know what I mean? No more extra calories. Yeah. This is all really good for someone who eats normally, but for someone who's about to compete and eat somewhat unhealthy to make weight and make body fat and make the cut, you don't consume it. So yeah, these are all really great things to eat generally and normally. Anyway, broccoli florets, baby portobello mushrooms. Yay! Take these, dehydrate them, and put whatever flavorings on that you want, and then you have yourself some raw fixins. I do use salt, lemon juice, garlic, things like that, and that is one of the reasons why the week before a show, like the one on April 11th, I will not be including either of these. As well as the show on April 25th, I will not be including either one of these. Reason number 2, as Danny's pointed out to me, as well as several other fellow bodybuilders like Joel K and DC Ninja, cruciferous extracts, difficult to digest.
They make you really gassy.
They make you really gassy. Danny knows firsthand. But aside from being gassy, which is uncomfortable in general, never mind. It's not worth saying. Aside from that, it just keeps you bloated, and being bloated, you don't want to be bloated, because then you give the appearance that you have extra body weight on you and you just don't come in as shredded. So, there's enough of that. Let's discuss what else. Before I discuss the whole meal in general, let me just state what is not raw. Vino. What else is not raw? Certain supplements. Let's explain them quickly, and I'll explain why I feel comfortable stepping out of my 100% raw boundaries to use them in a nutshell. Thins the blood. I like it. Fine. I have a third of a glass a day. Prior to competition, generally speaking, this is not used at all any time of the year. I'm not a drinker. I don't condone alcohol, even though I'm holding a bottle of wine in my hands. I would technically, if I had, all the money in the world, which I don't even have a fraction of it, I would purchase Frey Vineyards. I would purchase Frey Vineyards organic wine with the healthiest processes made, but now I'm just using some cheap $5 wine that I'm getting by with. It's a Cabernet. That's the flavor that I like.
The flavor. The variety.
Cabernet Sauvignon is perfect with, oh god, I can't remember, it's disgusting. Whatever the case is, 2 ounces a day, third of a glass a day. Keeps the blood thin. It's the closest thing to being raw without being raw if you're going to go into like alcohol, things like that. Alright. Shut up, Danny. I don't like to see your smiles. I know you're making fun of me in your head. April 4th, cutting out the creatine, cutting out the, help me out over here, L-arginine. Come on, I only got 10 minutes to procrastinate. Cutting out the L-arginine with bonded with the salt because I feel like the excess sodium is going to lead to a body with more water retention. So I have until Friday. After Friday there will be no more creatine in my diet because as we know creatine bloats you and adds a lot of water weight. And there will be no more L-arginine AAKG bonded. That's what this is. So this is my last bit of creatine, my last bit of synthetic amino acid L-arginine mixed with the dual salt chain for better absorbability. Yes, it makes you, it gives you a bigger pump and it gives you more vascularity, but it's done its job and it's time to get rid of it. So that's the last of that. But I still will be using white willow bark powder, which is simply real silicic acid, not synthetic. I think the silicic acid itself is a synthetic name for white willow bark, and it's an extract. This is, yeah, there you go, Salix alba, whatever. This keeps your blood thin. It's real aspirin, not synthetic crap. So thin blood, that's just raw powder. It's an herb, blah, blah, blah. Or essentially ground up bark of a willow tree, a white willow tree. What else? And I will be using kola nut grounded up. I ground it up myself. That's for some caffeination. Caffeination, is that even a word? Mm-hmm. It really is? I made a real word? Cool. Yeah, I usually make up things. So it's real caffeination and some what other things, like alkaloids, feel-good chemicals, without, natural chemicals. My things that are satiating throughout the day. Well, this is kind of difficult to look at, but you get the idea. Here you go. Here's a combination of quinoa and sprouted buckwheat. So I have one of these a day, just like that. And I'll mix some dehydrated broccoli into it. And I'll mix some dehydrated mushrooms into it, as long as it's not 7 days before a show. I don't have either of them on handy. You can only do so much at one time. I don't have time to dehydrate those things. I don't like the way they taste raw. It's just my personal preference. I also take zucchini and spiralize it with a spiralizer into the spaghetti, and now it's all over the floor, all for the sake of this stupid vlog. So I have one of these a day, and then I will also have a serving of Sun Warrior a day. This is a serving of Sun Warrior. How much protein do you take in, Giacomo? How much Sun Warrior a day? That much. That's about 12 scoops. Every day, every week it changes. I think it goes from like 12, 10, 8. Awesome. Yeah, I did a real good job with this, huh? I'm trying to look for an algae bag just to give you an idea.
No.
No what?
No, what if that opens?
If the algae opens, it'll open up in your face.
I'll kill you.
She hates algae.
I hate algae.
So this would be an ideal day. This much algae, this much Sun Warrior, zucchini, sprouted greens, dehydrated mushrooms and broccoli, supplements, 2 ounces of wine. This is what algae looks like shaked up.
Ugh.
I don't have somewhere around me. Vega oil, I would say we agreed upon 2 tablespoons should be adequate for me. That'll give me 30 grams of fat because I'm not really getting fat. And I get about 20 grams out of the oil that I use when I'm flavoring these things as well as whatever. That's about it in a nutshell. Here's my beautiful Sun Warrior jar. Great stuff. Didn't open. Thank God. I didn't even know if it was fully sealed. But yeah.
1 minute.
1 minute. Really, really, really good stuff. Consider picking yourself up some. Do your world a good. So there you have it, ladies and gents. My diet in a nutshell. Questions, comments, things I didn't elaborate on enough. Feel free to keep in touch. Later.